Okay, part two. Thanks a lot, guys, for hanging out. Okay, this is from Lunaria Claire, who I've become pretty close friends with on YouTube. She actually lives in the Bay Area like me, so hey, Lunaria, how are you? So let's see. Let's see. The question from her is, what is the favorite thing about living in the Bay Area, and what is one of your favorite things to do in the Bay Area? Favorite things in the Bay Area? Well, I love the weather. I lived in the East Bay my whole life. I didn't really get familiar with San Francisco until I started going to school, and that was out in San Francisco State, and that was, God, 12 years ago. Um, but favorite thing about living here, I love San Francisco. I really miss working there. Fortunately, I worked in the city for 7 years, and I haven't worked there since 2010. I work currently in a smaller area, but I really miss San Francisco. I love going to Pier 39. I loved just the Embarcadero area. I loved going up to Union Square. It was just a fun place to go because I could walk out of the building on my lunch break and just walk around the city. It was just fun. Where I work now is there's nothing around me. It's just the building I work in. So that's sort of that's one thing I did love is I loved just the way San Francisco was. I loved that there was so much convenience. I loved the beauty of the city, even though sometimes there's areas that aren't as clean as they should be. But it's a beautiful city, and it was a great city to work in. And maybe one day I'll work there again. But yeah, it was a really fun city to work in, and I just love being this close to San Francisco. It's not too far from me. I also love Berkeley. Berkeley's a fun place to go to. That's where I get most of my tattoo work done. I have gotten some tattoo work in Walnut Creek, but I'm starting to go back to Berkeley now. And, it's not as cool as it used to be. My mom worked actually at UC Berkeley for 38 years, and I used to go visit her and stuff like that there. And, a lot has changed, especially on Telegraph Avenue, where I like to go and, hang out and look at the vendors and shop and things like that. And it was just fun. But yeah, starting to go back there a little bit more. But yeah, just there's so much convenience in the Bay Area. There's so many neat places to go. You can drive to Napa and it's like 20 miles away, 20 minutes away. It's not that far. So there's just a lot of fun things that you can do in a short drive. So yeah, but San Francisco and Berkeley and those kinds of things are probably my favorite things about living here. So thanks so much for that question, Lunaria. Let's see. Next question. What is your favorite slasher film ever made? Well, my favorite... That's tough. And this is from Horror Movie Guy 1. So thanks for the question. Favorite slasher film ever made? I would have to say my favorite horror film, and I've mentioned this before, is Jason Lives Friday the 13th Part 6. I know that movie isn't very gory, but I love that movie 100%. But a really close second is probably you might even tie for one. It's hard for me because there's so many movies I love, but I love Psycho 2. As much as I love Psycho 1, Psycho 2 was my first introduction into the Psycho movies, and I love that movie 100%. I give that movie props whenever someone asks me about it because I don't think it gets enough praise. I'm so happy that Scream Factory is putting out that special edition DVD and Blu-ray this fall, or late summer, early fall, and I really can't wait to get it. But I love Psycho 2. I think it's such a good movie. It's not just a slasher film. It's got a lot of heart to it. You really feel for Norman Bates in that movie, and I think it's just a testament to what a powerful actor Anthony Perkins was, what a great writer Tom Holland was, and what an amazing director Richard Franklin was. Everything came together in that movie. That's one of the best sequels. It's probably my favorite sequel of all time. I love it. Just like some people think Aliens is one of the best sequels, which it is. But that's how important Psycho 2 is to me. I just love that film. Let's see. Next question. This comes from Kevin Kearney. Hey, Kevin, how you doing? My least favorite horror film or franchise and why? Least favorite horror film franchise. I don't like Paranormal Activity. I've tried to watch them. I didn't see the fourth one, but I watched 1 through 3. I hated 2 with a passion. 1 I respected because it was an independent that was funded, self-funded, and it got a huge distribution and did really well. But I don't like found footage. I could count on one hand how many found footage films that I really like. One is Blair Witch and always will be. Two is probably Quarantine, the remake. I think it was Record was the one that was. It's a Spanish film, I believe. I liked Quarantine. I liked Blair Witch. There's not really too much more. The Last Exorcism was good. But I just don't like found footage films. I'm tired of found footage. I'm tired of everything having to be. I like to be taken away. I want to be taken. Like I like stories, and I like. I really just don't like found footage shit, and I'm tired of reality shows. Oh my god, I do have a couple guilty pleasure reality shows, and they are Hell's Kitchen, and I like Catfish for some reason, but everything else can go fuck itself. I really just don't like reality shows, and I don't understand why some of these people are stars, because they're useless. They're not stars. They're just people that are given money to act like idiots, and for some reason we celebrate that. But what are you gonna do? But yeah, Paranormal Activity is probably my least favorite horror film series. I don't know why they've made so much money. I guess it's just because that's what teens nowadays want to watch, and I I'm from a little bit older generation. I like, I think that's why I like the kind of the over the top, corny kind of, like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. Those kinds of movies are more my cup of tea. I even don't. There's like the Hostel movies I don't like at all. I watched Hostel 1. It really bothered me because it came out right around the time that my best friend passed away, and I remember watching it and it depressed the shit out of me, so I could never watch it again. Hostel 2 was okay, but seeing these poor women get tortured in that movie would just, I couldn't watch it, because then I just thought about my poor wife, and I couldn't. I don't like to see women get tortured like that. I know that women have died in the Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street movies, but it's just, for me, those are fake. Whereas in Hostel, that could really happen, and that really bothered me. So I think that's why, I could deal with the saws because they're over the top, and there's a lot of, it's more like a mystery and these traps and all that stuff. And yeah, it's gory at times and disturbing at times, but those movies, there was just something more, there's more story to them, and there's more of like this over the topness that I'm like, okay. But in Hostel, it's just a room and these people are being hurt, and I can't watch it. So yeah, Hostel and probably Paranormal Activity are the two least favorite horror film series ever. I don't own any of them, and I never plan to see them again. So I hope that answers your question, Kevin, and I really appreciate it. The Horror Fan 100, the Horror Fan 00 has 3 questions. Out of the terrible movie sequels, which one have you never made? Let's see. Okay, wait. Okay, he says, let's see. Which one would you have never made and make another different? Exorcist 2, The Heretic, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Next Generation, Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth, Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, and Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. So I think the question is, which one should have never been made, and which one would you make different? Those are all pretty bad. I actually like Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, but it took me a while to like it. Freddy's Dead is okay. It took me a while to really appreciate that one. I think it got a little too silly at the end. But yeah, the Freddy's Dead is pretty good. I own Freddy's Dead. I own Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. It took me a long time to buy it. Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth, I've always had fun with. I don't know why people don't like that movie. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation is a big piece of shit. I hate that movie so much. And Exorcist 2 I've seen once, and I wasn't a big fan of it. I think the worst one in that series is Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation. I don't know why some people like that movie. I think it's just complete garbage. And I watched it once years ago, like 1999, I think I saw it. And it was just, it's a movie I'll never buy. I just thought it was fucking horrible. And, it's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It fucked that franchise for a long time, and I'm glad that it's back on its feet. Even though a lot of people didn't like the Texas Chainsaw 3D that came out this year, I actually really enjoyed it. I had fun with it. It was a great sequel, in my opinion, really tied to the original, and I actually liked it better than Hooper's sequel to his original film. So that's just my cup of tea. More so than what he did. And I think we're going to have to go into a third video on this, so everybody stay tuned. Part 3 is coming up. Thanks.